Scotty. You're not, and welcome back to Dis-Cember. Day, that was the chair. Day 18, when we have the Emperor's New Groove. I need to scoot over more because now I'm using this thing, I kind of take up more space. Yes, the Emperor's New Groove came out in the year 2000. And it stars David Spade, John Goodman, Eartha Kitt, Patrick Warburton, and is not a, an adaptation of The Emperor's New Clothes as I originally thought when it was coming out, because the story of The Emperor's New Clothes is that this emperor guy is tricked into putting on a new wardrobe, which is nothing, and he's just naked. This is not that. This is an emperor is turned into a llama by accident, and when his assistant and her assistant tried to kill him, he's turned into a llama, and the assistant Kronk does not kill him. Instead, he accidentally drops him in a village where he's found by Pacha, who just so happens to be the last guy he spoke to, and he was human, and now they have to work together to get him back to the palace. But there is one problem between them that also needs to get solved. So, yeah. First and foremost, the cast. I think John Goodman is great as Pacha. John Goodman is just great, period. In many movies, he's great actor. But two standouts are in this. She mentioned Eartha Kitt is great as Yzma, too. She's a good villainess. She's been villainess before. She was Catwoman. She was in Harriet the Spy. But the two standouts here are the star of the show, David Spade, as this cocky as hell emperor who is all full of himself. And to be honest, was there anyone else David Spade that could play this role? I mean, come on. David Spade has that laid back type of talking that works for this character. And the other standout is Kronk, played by Patrick Warburton, who is so much of a standout. He got his own spin-off sequel movie, Kronk's New Groove, and he's one that I like to, mimic. Right. The poison for Cusco. The poison to give to Cusco. Cusco's poison. That poison. Yeah, him. Love him. Most standouts. So, the story here is that Cusco is this stuck-up, only cares about himself emperor, and he has Pacha come, and he's there to inform Pacha that he's going to basically take over his village so that he can have his vacation home. Pacha doesn't like that, but can't do much about it. His emperor, he's going to do it. Yzma is the second in command, or the assistant, whatever you want to call her, of Cusco, who constantly is pretending to be empress and wants to take over from him, and finally she has enough because he fires her. So she says that she's going to kill him, and we get the gag that was repeated on the TV series as well. Pull the lever. Wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever? Yes. And so she has a potion that is going to kill him. It's basically a poison. But Kronk misses it up, and he turns into a llama. So they put his unconscious body in a bag, and she says, go kill him. And he throws him into this waterfall thing. It's going to fall, but he stops it from dying because he has an angel on one shoulder, devil on the other, and he caves to the angel. And then he takes him to the village where he accidentally lands with Pacha. And goes home with Pacha. And so, basically, he explains to Pacha what happened. He needs to go back. But Pacha doesn't want to take him back because he knows when he gets back and becomes human again, he is going to, demolish his village and do his town. So he doesn't want to do that. He says, I'll only take you if you promise not to do that. Which he does, but he's lying, of course. And we're introduced to Pacha's family. He has a son and a daughter who have precognitive powers or can see what's going on with their father in their dreams. How did I miss that as a kid? They can see the future, or they have dreams which tells them what's going on with their dad. I don't know. It's very weird. Another great line is when they go on a waterfall. Don't tell me. Huge waterfall. Mm-hmm. Sharbox at the bottom? Most likely. Bring it on. That was in the trailer, but I love that line. Uh, yeah. Um. Uh. So yeah, that's basically a journey, and there's a couple times they break apart, but they come back together again. Uh. Yeah. But he still keeps saying, "I'm gonna destroy your village. I'm gonna destroy your village." But by the end of this, that's not gonna happen. By the end of this, that's gonna change in something. This is one of those stories where, he says he's gonna do this the entire movie, but that something's gonna change. They're gonna have the connection, and it's not gonna happen that way. But you know, there is one thing that confused me. So there's a scene where they go to this diner in the village, and Yzma and Kronk show up, and Kronk just starts cooking the food for some reason. It's Kronk. Ask questions. You get bigger headaches with him. And then they do this thing where he and Yzma are at opposite tables, and they do that menu. Like, he has his menu up, she has hers down. He puts his down, she puts his up. Or he puts his down, she puts hers up, and it's like a thing. But like, he's a llama, and this guy is a woman, and no one else seems to recognize it. But they do figure it out. Like later, Kronk figures it out, but. Kuzco says that when he realizes they're out there, he's like, "Oh, I go to them and they can take me back to the palace." But doesn't he already know they're the ones that turn him into a llama? I'm just saying. And the movie actually starts with the point of view of him crying in the rain. It's one of those, "Yep, that's me, but you wonder how I got here" type of things. And so I'm led to believe that we are telling the story from Kuzco's point of view. But then, at a certain point, he's unconscious in the bag when Kronk is taking him through the thing, but he can hear him humming his own theme music, and he's like, "It's a good thing I was unconscious for this." Then how do you know he's doing it? If you were unconscious, how do you know he's doing it? And you're the narrator, but you're also the character in the movie. You cannot be both. You should have had someone else be the narrator. It just doesn't make any sense how he would know he's humming the theme song, his own theme song, while he's unconscious in the back. It's like, but like, shouldn't he already know at this point that they were responsible for turning him into a llama? I mean, if he really thinks about it, the last time he remembers is eating the soup, and then he's a llama, and he's knocked unconscious, and then he's found by Pacha. He says Pacha kidnapped him, but that makes no sense. He does. I for one cannot believe that he actually believes Pacha kidnapped him. That's got to just be a story he's telling himself so that he can, he's in denial. I don't believe for one second that he actually believes Pacha kidnapped him. There's no way. Like, first of all, he turned into a llama and saw himself first, right? Before he was unconscious. Not unconscious. No. There's no way he should believe that they can help him. He should believe that they are responsible for this. I don't understand that. It's bad writing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, oh, they can help me. No. But whether you keep saying that you think Pacha kidnapped you, but you saw him leave the palace. And then you're unconscious and you wake up with him. But no, it just... There's too much. It doesn't make any sense to me. It does not make any sense to me whatsoever that he thinks Pacha's responsible for this whole thing and that they have nothing to do with it, despite the fact that he turned into a llama in their presence. So they have something to do with it. I don't know. It's not connecting in my brain or something that he still thinks they can help him. It just makes no sense that he shouldn't think that. I don't know. It really got to me this time. I don't know. But, yeah, eventually, they do make it back to the palace with help of being distracted by the wife and kids. The wife who was pregnant, and I don't think we see her they don't have the child afterwards. And I know maybe in Kronk's New Groove, I don't know, but I know in Emperor's New School, that's a prequel, isn't it? Wouldn't it be if it's supposed to be a teenage Kuzco, right? Or maybe it's after? but Yzma's not a cat, so I don't know. Because Yzma gets turned into a cat with a chipmunk voice, which kind of makes no sense. And Kronk basically turns on her, sort of, and he gets put down a trap door and lands in another thing. He's like, huh, weird how the trap door let me here. After he squishes her with the little door. And yeah, so Cusco, and they do call back to this earlier because they had to do this thing where they're doing it. So they had to do it again to get to the file, but it basically doesn't matter because Yzma Cat gets it, but then Kronk, opens the door and smooshes her and the thing falls. Cusco gets it, takes a drink, becomes human again, and then he makes friends with the old man. At the beginning, there is the theme song, sung by the theme song man, who is Tom Jones. And there's this old man that throws off his groove. Excuse me, you've thrown off my groove. I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Emperor's groove. Launched out of the thing. Sorry! And here he's apologizing to him. Oh, it's okay. I've been thrown out before. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. I can deal with it or whatever. And yeah, it sounds like the guy who did the voice for Piglet. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if it is, but it sounds like him. They're apparently friends now. And he tells Patrick, hey, you know what? You told me that when the sun came over the mountains, the hills sing. And I was all over those hills, and I didn't hear any singing. I might have to build my home somewhere else. And so he's like, hey, why don't you do it on the hill next to mine? And I'm like, wait. And it's just this little hut. I'm like, so he was trying to build a Cusco-topia. He was going to build this whole thing as a vacation area, but now he's just a little hut. I don't know. It's really weird. But I'm going to give this movie middle of the road. I think the acting's all really good. I think like some of the characters are good, like Kronk and Cusco. But just, I don't know. It's never one that I go back to. If I watch a Disney movie, especially from the 2000s, animated, I don't know. It's not one that I go back to. But it's not a bad movie by any shape of imagination. It just, for me, I don't know. There's just some things that don't add up for me, I guess. Like, the kids have special dreams. Why doesn't Cusco realize that Yzma has something to do with it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But it's fine for what it is. It's fine for what it is. You see things differently as an adult. It's fine for what it is. But what are your thoughts on Emperor's New Groove? No comments below. Share, like, share, and subscribe. Up next, back to the live action, where we look at a remake from 1998, starring Lindsay Lohan as two characters. Also Dennis Quaid. Also Wine. Also Twins. Also Summer Camp. Till then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.